Alright, so our hero journey project was on the wonderful movie Elf. If you haven't seen this movie, you really need to because it's just hilarious. So first we have kind of like a layout of what the hero's journey pattern is. We have the departure, the initiation, and the return.
That's not Elf.
No, that was the creator of the hero journey pattern. So first off, the unusual birth. Buddy was found in an orphanage on Christmas. He crawled into Santa's pouch and went with him back to the North Pole and was raised by elves, and you can see him in his classroom with the other elves. The call to adventure, he finds out he's not really an elf, and this kind of, that's probably the scariest scene is the Jack in the Box scene. That kind of freaks him out that he's not actually an elf, even though it's kind of obvious. Crossing the threshold, he decides to leave the North Pole and get his dad off the naughty list. Santa tells him, when he finds out he's not an elf, Santa and Papa Elf tell him that his dad lives in New York City, and so he decides to go and find his dad.
Memes.
Then memes for the win.
And then part 2 is the initiation, and the challenges he had is getting to New York City. So what he basically did is he got in an iceberg and floated to the candy cane forest, and then he passed the sea of gumdrops, and then he went through the Lincoln Tunnel and found the Empire State Building, and he wanted to find that because that's where his dad works. And his mentors were Santa and Papa Elf because they really shaped him to be who he is. And then the special weapon, I guess, it's not so much a weapon, but it's a snow globe, and it helps him, it guides him on his way and keeps him positive while he's trying to find his dad. And then the abyss is when his dad won't accept Buddy, because his dad, he is really into his job, and that's all that matters to him. And so Buddy disrupts his meeting or something, and then his dad yells at him to get out and that he never wants to see him again. But Buddy doesn't give up, so he went to Central Park, and his dad found him again, he went to find him, and then they forgave each other, and they helped restore Christmas spirit to New York City. So yeah. Not me.
So the return. This part was a little bit harder to figure out, but he returned to the North Pole, but we're pretty sure he decides to live in New York City with his wife Jody and their little child. You can't see the child in the picture, but in that Mastery of Two Worlds, he's still kind of an elf at heart because he grew up that way and he loves it. And he also finds his purpose and writes a book about his journey.
What's the book called?
Elf.
Wow.
That's what the movie's called.
It is.
Plagiarism.
Have you seen the movie?
Whoa, easy with the language.
And finally, we have some connections to actual Greek mythology, with the story of Theseus. Theseus was also raised by a single parent in a small village. He discovers that he's different from others, being a demigod. He's told about his father and sent on a journey to find him. He goes on a perilous journey to find his father, and then has his father as his mentor. And his special weapon helps him on his journey, helps him as he goes along. And that is our presentation. Thank you very much for listening.